once people are here live and yeah, we are live now. I'm just gonna play a little bit of music for us. I still hear Miss Sandy. She just got to get it in, boy. She got to get it in.
They hear you. They hear you.
She don't understand how smart these smartphones is. They is smart tonight. You hear me?
Oh, shit.
So
He lied.
now, G, what's probably gonna have to happen is you're gonna have to remember to mute yourself and unmute yourself if Miss Sandy don't want to cooperate with the silence rule tonight.
She not cooperating. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get it together.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody that's tuning in right now. Welcome to Gentlemen After Dark, a place where good folks can talk without judgment. Gonna give it a few minutes here, of course. Started a few seconds early or a few minutes early just to kind of not rush the process. My YouTubers that are here, good evening to you. Miss Michelle Finnison, I see you. Look at you, boy. You make every teacher happy because you was early for class. Miss Sandy is in the building. Well, she's been in the building for a minute, but yeah. Happy to see you. Happy to see you. Let no one get close to me before you and me. Can y'all hear that music all right? No problems? Girl, I know I lack affection in expressing my feelings. So I'm going to just go down the list a little bit while we got a few minutes to do so. Highlight some names. I know I said Miss Sandy already, but good evening, Miss Sandy again. Miss Michelle is here, you guys. Miss Michelle is here. Miss Berdina Garrett. I forgot the new married name. Congratulations to you. Miss Berdina just got married, you guys. So I know she's tuning in. Hopefully she got hubby by her side. See what he can learn along with her. My brother, Mr. Joe Williams. What's up with you, man? Happy to see you. And let's see what else we got here. Teach me how to. Ain't nobody ever took the time to try to teach me what love was but you. And I ain't never trust no one enough to let him tell me what to do. Teach me how to really show it and show me how to really love you, baby. Teach me, please just show me that. Miss Alana Wade is in the building, you guys. Baby, show me where to start. I think everybody can appreciate a little bit of music, Soul Child. The song is entitled Teach Me. That's what we're here for tonight, to be taught, to learn. Miss Dior, good evening to you. I see you. Whoa. Rolinda's in the building. And look at here. Good evening, Jackie Steele. I see you. I forgot to send you that wake up. You didn't go night-night. I see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. All the way from Memphis, y'all. Mr. Go-Getter himself. I see you, man. Thanks for being here. Miss Day from the Drew Crew, the street I grew up on. Myself and Mr. Clifton. I see you. We got Pittsburgh in the building. We got, I just drew a blank. Naria? Nira. Close? Say the name. Say the name. Nira. Okay, there we go. So without further ado, y'all, look, we're going to go ahead and start this show properly. I actually gave us the whole song. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Miss Dana with the Onyx. I see you. And I see Miss Deidre. Tonight's episode, you guys, is going to be brought to you by
Posner.
Posner. He's stupid. He's stupid. Hold on, let me get rid of that. Tonight's episode is brought to you by author R.M. Mellinger, who wrote a book about 3 years ago now entitled 22 Years Living with Autism and Cerebral Palsy. I was blessed to be a part of a project with her to help her uh, help awareness be made with autism. Her son, who is now 25 years of age, has autism and he also has cerebral palsy, something that she has been dealing with. She, as in Rolinda Mellinger, has been dealing with the entire time of her son's life. Just recently, guys, Spectrum, that internet guru, Spectrum did a write up. No, they did an actual video clip, video on her and her son. So if you haven't seen it, or maybe you have seen it, man, take a look at the book. I do have my copy. Let me see here. I'm going to give you guys the link. Her name again is R.M. Mellinger, 22 years living with autism and cerebral palsy. And you could go to Amazon.com and pick up that book. I do encourage you to do so. Let me get rid of this. I do got a few things to say here or show. I do encourage you to get the book because guess what? I do have my own copy. And not only do I have my own copy, but my copy is autographed. So, Rolinda, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, sis. Keep educating us about autism, cerebral palsy. Keep the fight. Nunu, if you're watching, man, we see you. I remember when you was going to prom. So keep up the good work. Keep taking care of your mom. We appreciate you.
Good work. Good work.
Yes, sir. All day. So let's go ahead, y'all. Let's get this party started.
Live in studio, you're tuned into Gentlemen After Dark. Hey, Onyx.
Tonight, you guys, tonight's topic, it's the battle of the sexes. I have to remind everybody that Gentlemen After Dark is a place where grown folks can talk without judgment. Tonight is a conversation amongst men and women, grown men and women. We are not here to fight one another. We are not here to debate with one another. The panel that I have selected, basically, I did not select. The panel was selected by my audience. You guys, this episode has been full of my audience, past and present participation. So I want to thank everybody who actually participated in my surveys. You got text messages and inboxes from me asking questions. I appreciate you for answering, even those individuals who couldn't follow my directions, and they gave me paragraphs when I only asked for one thing. But hey, we're gonna run with it, right? So let me start off like this. Set the mode here. I asked 20 people, 10 guys, 10 ladies. What one thing do you need from your man or from your woman? What was the one thing that you need from that individual? And I'm gonna just give you some of the responses that I received. And I do have my little trusty notepad. We got compatibility, we got communicate, we got appreciation through actions, we got protection, we got intimacy, we got alignment, attentive, listen to me. That was all from the ladies, and not the ladies on the panel, the ladies that I reached out to. The men in response: prayer, communication, to listen, secured within herself, trust, respect, and be the missing part to the house. Be the missing part to the house. Deep answers, very intriguing for me. So, of course, it's like, oh, you know what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this subject here? Last week wasn't the greatest, but hey, it is what it is. So I had to come back with something better, something stronger. So my panel here, based on the request of the audience, I decided to come up with some questions, and those questions were generated by you, the audience. So for my panel, are you guys ready to get this started?
Absolutely.
Yes. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Get it. So how do we want to start tonight? Do we want to go ladies first, fellas first, or do we want to ask a co-ed question? What would you guys like to do?
Let the men go.
Let the men go, Terry says. Ooh. All right. Well, since she spoke first, guess what? We're going with the men. So here we go. Question number 1. Why is it so difficult for men to reflect their true emotions? And again, fellas and ladies, you don't have to raise your Zoom hand. Start speaking. I'm going to put the camera on you. But there's the first question for the men.
It's not difficult.
Here we go.
It's not difficult at all. Like I said last week, it's are you prepared for the truth of my emotions? I will say that I wear my emotions on my sleeve, as you know, Onyx, and many people that may be listening know. It may be the artist in me because I am, I feel some kind of way about my shit, as Erica Badu would say. So and when I love you, I love you. When I don't fool with you, I don't fool with you. So it's not difficult. It's hard for me not to harness some of that in because I'm all out. And when I go all out, that's where in the past I didn't get all that returned to me. Once again, the word for me is what, class? Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
So it's not difficult for me, y'all.
Mr. Najee, you want to follow up on that?
Yeah. I gotta agree with Cliff on that one. I do to reiterate his point. I wear my emotions on my sleeve as well. So it's not hard for me, but I think speaking for the majority, I would say that it's ego. We tend to, and I'm guilty of that too. But we tend to, as men, we tend to have very large egos. And sometimes that can get in the way of showing your emotions or showing what you really feel. We can do it in our vulnerable moments. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really it. You know what I'm saying? It's just getting to those. It's getting us to those moments to actually bring that out. So that's what I would say. I would say it's our ego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a big ego.
And going back to that, I think it is the machismo that we have as young men, especially young black men, have been raised to be. Whether you have, or especially if you missing a father in home, which fortunately I wasn't, but some people who had to turn to the streets or the homies to quote unquote raise them. You got to be hard. You got to be this. So when you do, because ain't nothing can break you down like a woman. But if you haven't had that training or to let you know it's natural to feel a certain way, you may hold certain things in. You may not express how you really feel.
Right.
Right. Good point. Good point.
Yeah, and if you was listening, to the beginning of the song, "Teach Me," Music Soul Child, I was told that the true definition of a man was to never cry, work till you tired, gots to provide, always be the rock for my family, protect them by all means, and give them the things that they need. Period. So nowhere in that equation was we taught, or most of us have been taught, to show your emotions and be emotional and so on and so forth. Because guess what? The moment you do that, men become classified as what?
Punks.
I didn't
Soft.
hear you. What you say? Speak
Punks.
up. Punk. Somebody said something first. Who was the first one? What'd you say? Go ahead, ding ding. Get it started.
I said they're most often viewed as bitches.
Thank you.
Sorry.
So with that, don't apologize.
Mm,
With that being said, I don't know any men, definitely not here, that want to be classified as that.
well, neither do females, but
Hey, well, yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
QB do. Here we go. All right.
Yeah,
So,
and
fellas, go
I
ahead.
was just to add to that. I would say today's music don't help either. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like some of the hip hop. You know, I mean, we all love Snoop Dogg, but we don't love them hoes. That didn't help. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
know.
But it
Well,
also
So I'm
doesn't help
just
with
saying.
the guys that are going on there doing the do with the devil in hot pants. Hello. And there's a lot of guys who thinks that dude can rap. Whatever. I know it's about making money, but you got to accept what you want to. If that's what you like, then that's what's acceptable to you. Then, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, Tupac called everybody a bitch, men and women, but he had a point to what he was saying. So you had to look farther than that. What we're doing nowadays with what people are calling music is just calling everybody, every girls, they're calling each other bitches and they're hoes and everything else, and that's supposed to be sexy, pretty guys. Well, he's a bitch, but he's also sexy. Oh, let me hug him, but not really hug him because no, all of that stuff. We can't blame it just on music. I get it, but we can't blame it. We let affect us what we want to affect us.
right. And
But
even
no,
our audience, you guys, is agreeing with us. Ms. Dior says, unfortunately, some women also believe it is not okay for men to show or express a majority of their emotions. So that's that contradictive comment there. You know what? Like, is it okay or is it not okay? Do you want me to or do you not want me to? Because most of us, we just gonna clam up anyway, go back in our shell, and I ain't gonna show you nothing because you ain't ready for that. So,
Plus, a lot of young men, guys, and I don't know everybody's age group, but a lot of them were beaten for showing emotion as children.
right.
Boys don't cry. Boys don't show emotion. You don't. You just supposed to be hard and not let anything affect you. And when that's drilled into you as a young person, you carry that in your. And it's hard to release that as an adult. I mean, I can't speak for a man, but I've seen that in people in my age group that I know were brought up that way.
well, see, that's what I mean. As a man, that's it's a reason because as a man, you out there competing against other men. So a man has to tell you that, or teach you that. Um, that's just what the way I was brought up. That's just what I believe. You know, if you the head of a household, you gotta rustle up that grub. You gotta bring it. And sometimes, you know, for you to make it home, sometimes you have to. You are uh, confronted with certain circumstances. So as men, we can't show no bitch emotions at that time. You gotta step up and be hard. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, it's gotta all be appropriate. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
gotta show the right emotions at the right time. You know. So that's all I'm to kind of add to that what you just said.
Still, uh, Puffy Combs, Sean Puffy Combs word, no bitch assness. Ain't that what the word was? No bitch assness. We ain't trying to be that. I'm just sorry. We just not. So, hey, fellas,
Fact.
I want to thank you for the answers to that question. You guys, let me introduce properly to you the fellas. And when the ladies answer, then I'm going to introduce them. But I'm going to start off with, he has himself listed as D, but we call him Najee. Welcome again, man, to Gentlemen After Dark. Well, actually, welcome to Gentlemen After Dark. For real, for real. He's always in the after hour part of this. But thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Love the show.
And of course, you know, my little big brother, Mr. Mello or Cliff, aka yeah, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm about. Since you had someone give some constructive criticism, I'm gonna be Mr. Lewis if you're nasty this for tonight. She told me to pick one, so tonight is Mr. Lewis. Next week it'll be Mello.
Ah, I love this guy. Mr. Lewis, if you're nasty. Okay, okay. And I do got to shout out a couple of people real quick. I just seen them pop up in here. Y'all know who this is. It's my dad. He's here. And he already signed the waiver, Bubba. So you can cuss. He already signed it. You can cuss if you say some bad words. No problem. I also got my gaming community, Angel Bass, aka Queen, to the street. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. And look here, Mello. What'd that say? Shoot, beat you.
Hey, Miss Dana.
Anywho,
Drew
hey,
Crew.
Miss Day. Drew Crew for life, right? All right, so the fellas have gotten us started off on a good note. Here we go, y'all. It's the ladies' turn. Ladies, ladies, ladies. Ladies, you ready?
Every day.
Yes.
Ladies, why does everything have to become an argument, battle, or fight? Why?
If it don't apply to me, I don't. That's not one of those things that I tend to do. But if you're speaking in general for women, why does it become an argument, a battle, or a fight? Probably because whatever you're arguing, battling, or fighting about has already been addressed. And now we're we're revisiting this same situation. So if it's been addressed once, then it shouldn't be an argument or a battle or a debate. Address it, fix it, and move on. So those women that you're arguing with is probably because the situation has already been addressed and you still doing the same dumbass shit.
Yeah, well,
Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Miss Terry, would you
I
like?
agree. I do agree with her on that. Definitely, Bubba, that is very true. Because for a lot of women, not only do we need to get our point across, that we need to be heard. And if we're bringing up something that we talked with you about before, as your partner, as a man, and or whatever, and it's still happening, then yes, we're going to bring it up, and it becomes argumentative more often than not because a lot of the person they're talking to is adamant that they're either not doing it, it's never happened, or they disagree with how their woman feels. So therefore, the more a man resists, the more she's going to press her opinion, her feelings, and unfortunately, women, when we bring our emotions into a discussion, it generally becomes argumentative when we're met with resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'd like to add, if the situation hasn't been addressed and it's turning into an argument or a battle or a discuss or some type of tension, you need to reevaluate the person that you're dealing with, because who wants to do that all day? Who wants to argue, battle, and fuss and fight all day?
Right. Amen.
If somebody is getting some type of enjoyment out of that, or that's how they get up in the morning and got to get started, that's not normal. So you should really reevaluate who you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. All right. Woo. Shoot, we
But
do that
some
part.
people is normal for, or some, since we're talking about women, some women is normal for them to do that,
That's not
and
normal.
so it's normal for them. I mean, I can't say what's normal. I do things that's not normal to you, that you could, but it's normal to me. If I'm used to doing something, it's normal to me. So some people, for instance, if they grow up in a household where arguing is going on constantly, guess what? That's normal. So
Right.
who am I to say that's not normal to them? Now, what you did say, that, or I will agree with, if I wasn't raised like that, or I'm not used to that situation, yeah, now a real evaluation is warranted, and I'm out. Like I dated a girl who liked to argue, but guess what? After that, the sex was the bomb. But like you said, you know what? That's taxing. I can't deal with this, but that's the way she got down. But guess what? When you go into her household, her dad was a Vietnam vet who didn't have all his marbles. So the wife was running the household, and that was taxing on her. So guess what she did? She took it out on the kids. So now this girl that I'm with, she's trying to take that out on me. So guess what that is? Normal. So like I said, people's normal is not necessarily our normal.
And that's where reevaluation should come into play.
Dig that.
And
I think
and
it's I
going back to some of the comments from our audience, Viola, I see you. I see my mom. Good evening. But some of the comments that have been made here, let me pick the one I wanted to. Let's start off with Miss Michelle. Um, when we're talking about this argumentativeness, she says because they do not know how to effectively communicate with each other. Now, I don't know if it's both parties that don't know how to communicate or it's one versus the other. You know, life experiences is going to help us with that one. Um, Trey says that some, not all, feel like they are not being heard, so irritation sets in.
that's
Hmm.
it. That's it.
Okay, I
Okay.
can accept that.
That's it.
That's a good point.
If you're not being heard, and that is a very good point. If you're not being heard, again, reevaluation kicks in. If you're not being heard, and the things that you want, need, or desired are constantly um, ignored, or passed over, or not given, put any stock into it, then again, reevaluate your situation. You are the only person that has control over what you do.
Yep.
And then we got another comment because it's fitting. Nate, we know him as Pastor Nate, says it's a power struggle. Hmm.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I was
Mm,
just about to say
I'm
that's the other
Yeah,
topic.
yeah.
yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know your role, you know your place.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be no power struggle. I just think that like the comment. Everybody, I mean, it's an escalation. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And eventually, you just feel like, hey, I gotta escalate because he or she ain't gonna hear me otherwise. And I think that's what you get used to, you know. And and eventually, y'all yelling, and then yelling is goes on to beatings and all that. So, yeah.
Oh no, we're not doing that. Don't put your dick beaters on me. Don't put your dick beaters on me. Keep your dick beaters to yourself. Whatever you want to call them, dick beaters, cock holsters, whatever you want to call them, you're gonna keep them to yourselves. Cause see, this is what we're not gonna do.
If anybody was gonna comment on that, I knew it was gonna be you.
Baby,
Hey,
you know that ain't what we doing.
okay.
But
Here, here goes another comment
this
while
kind
y'all
of
think
go.
about this. Hold on,
This
wait.
kind of go. Oh, I'm sorry.
Some of us are addicted to pure chaos.
True. True. That's what the point I was making with the girl. She was addicted to that stuff. I'm like, you crazy.
And if you not, then you know what? Hey, move around.
Exactly.
You, like I said, you subject yourself to only what you want to subject yourself to. If you want to be around chaos and people arguing all day, as soon as you get off from work, working all night, and as soon as you come in the door, now you got to argue with somebody because you've been at home, that person been at home all day, or something that went on at their job, and now you got to come in here and argue with the. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not.
Yeah, especially after a hard
Women
day's
tend
work.
to right, and I'm gonna tell you how some of the arguments get going. Um, Women tend to like to talk. They want to talk. They want to tell you how their day was. They want to know how your day was. They want to, um, just communicate back and forth while we're doing all these amenities. That was last show. We'll talk about that later.
Amenities. Let's get them.
That was last show.
Amenities.
So um so we want women want to talk, and men, they don't they're simplistic, they're simple. They just want to come home, get a shower, get something to eat, and kind of relax a little bit, hold on you if that's what they feel like, lay down. They're very simple. But when you find, like Mr. Mello said, the chaotic person, that's all that person wants to do. And that disrupts that man's peace. And what does he do? Go find some peace. So shut your mouth sometimes, ladies. When these men come home, shut the fuck up.
Hold
Uh-oh.
on.
No, you gotta
Hold
do
on.
it at the
One more
right
time because they're
time.
not listening to you. Say it
You
again.
gotta do it at the right time. Cause when we doing something, we watching the game. Hey, look, don't come to me talking about how my day was, how yours was. We watching the game. We watching the
Baby, we watching
fight.
the game at the same time.
Don't
So
hey, I'm just saying, you need to talk to your co uh talk to them. Make a podcast or something. I don't know. But we gotta understand, don't bother us when it's the wrong time. So yeah, that nice point that you made, but it's the wrong time. We like to talk,
it is.
all of that, but it's the wrong time.
Men tend to, this is just my opinion. Um, and going back to where you guys had answered the first question about your emotions and things of that nature, you guys don't. It's hard for you to show emotion with women, probably because of your past relationships, or again, like Mr. Mello said, we were brought up to be men. Don't cry, don't do this, don't boys don't men don't do that. So when you finally do find someone that you want to open up with, and like one of the ladies said in the comment, the woman think you a bitch, now you're kind of hesitant to do that in the future. So I'm just saying this to the men. Don't let one woman hinder you from doing or feeling the way you want to feel with the woman that you care for. Do you understand what I mean?
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Don't let that one, or it may have been two, three, four, or five of them. It don't matter. But when you find that one, give her a little test emotion. See how she fish her out. Give her a little test emotion.
That's the
Fish her
test.
out. See, see
Come
how
on,
see how she
cry for no
react to
reason.
it. Yeah, just don't cry for no reason. Cry at a movie or some shit. I don't know. And see how she look at. If she bitch look at you sideways like, no, this nigga didn't. Then you know that's not the woman you want to at least give your emotions to.
Wow. Shoot.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
That's why I'm the president. I'm not only a member.
Hey, she said that's
That's
why.
good.
And then this last one, I'm gonna point this one out. This comment from Terry McFarland, aka
Farland,
Bash. What's up,
the
brother?
Black Irish,
He
the Black
says,
Irishman.
Black Irish, right? He says, people don't listen to listen; they listen to
Listen
reply.
to talk. Yep.
And I agree with
I
that
agree.
1000%.
Yeah.
You ain't heard a
I
word I
agree.
said because you ready to rebuttal to what I done
Pop
said.
off.
Come on, man.
And I
Don't
heard
do that.
a therapist on one of the talk shows, The Breakfast Club, say, um, arguing, and we all gonna argue at some time, but sometimes we're arguing to be right and not to get our point understood, and that's an
Right.
issue too. So if you just all you trying to do is be right while we're talking, your partner may be acknowledging, you know what, I was wrong, but you just trying to be right.
Right.
So yeah, that's a good point, McFarland.
Very good.
Teddy McFarlane. So I'm not sure what happened to Miss Terry. Bubba, I know
Me
you can
either.
Uh-oh,
hold
Mr.
on. I
Black
don't know
got
what
her.
happened.
Mr. Black
But
got her.
Mello, you dumb. That's all I'm gonna say. Anywho, so look,
I'm
this next
okay.
question. Well, actually, I have to do this properly. I'm sorry. The ladies have responded. I don't know what happened to Terry. So, welcome back. The president herself of the women's club. It's Bubbles, y'all. It's Miss Bubbles. Always happy to see you. Always happy to hear from you. Thank you for making it important to you to be here again tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, our next question, and this question is not directed to men or women, it's directed to us, men and women. Why do we ignore red flags when we see them? No
Because
zoom hands. I want to jump in.
Oh Lord. Well, I know as a woman, we ignore red flags. Because I know your father is here. So
We already signed the consent form, ma'am.
I know in the past, women tend to ignore the red flags because but that nigga got this going on, or you know what I mean. I can look over that, but they tend to ignore them or look over them because of another quality
Mm, mm,
they may have.
mm. Here we go.
but that's what I said
Mhm.
when I was speaking about the girl I was with. Crazy, but the cooch was good. But there comes a time when it's gonna be,
I didn't say
that
that.
it ain't even worth it. So, but like Bubba's just said, we substituting what's irritating us or what's he's like, what, I can't stand that, but tonight she gonna do this, that, and the third. So for the
And
moment,
and
it's good, but once that baby batter clears, like, oh damn, I'm with this again.
not the baby batter. Well, you guys have more. You guys have maybe a few more qualities than. I wasn't just talking about, as Miss Terry so eloquently says, the ding ding. Um, there are more things that um, you shake and loose that change, or you know it all depends on what that woman's makeup is. If you like that sagging pants dude with the rolling with the 60s on 20s, or whatever your makeup is, you know there is not one person that wants to be with somebody that doesn't want somebody to know that you're with that person.
Mhm, mhm.
So
Good point. Good point.
so so
Yeah.
you make allowances, you look over things, and which we shouldn't, but as human we do.
All right. Well, let's see. Miss Miss Octavia jumped in on this one because we always think the person will change. We try to see the best in the person instead of taking what we see at face value. Thank you, Miss
Mm-mm.
Octavia.
No,
Hmm.
I think that's more like women try to change. I think that's a a a big negative when it comes to women. They try to change versus accept. And I think that's why they end up with the wrong thing
I'm sorry,
a
versus
lot of
what?
the times. Say that again.
I'm
Hello?
sorry. You said versus what?
No, I
They
was
try to
just saying
change versus what?
they try to change
Uh-huh.
versus move on to the next person or
Oh, okay.
reevaluate. You know what I'm saying? They try to change a man versus, hey,
Accept
accept.
or
I
accept.
can't accept it. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, well, let me chime in on that. People are who they are, Mr. D. That's what
That's
You
he
call
said.
me Najee. You
Najee.
call me Najee.
Najee.
Hmm.
People are who they are. If you're a liar, you're a liar. If you're a
That's
cheater,
a fact,
you're a cheater. You might get
and we
caught
all that.
cheating. You might get caught cheating and say, "Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm this, that, and the third," and until it gets all better. But as soon as it gets better, you revert right back to the person you are. So if you a cheater, you're just gonna find another way, step your game up to do it better because you got busted that time. If you're a liar, you're a liar. Even if you're a good person and somebody fuck over you, you're going to tell all your friends, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not taking care of nobody else. I'm not doing none of that. But as soon as your emotions come down to who you are, the next person that knock on your door and say, hey, can I borrow $100 because my light bill, boom, you are who you are.
Mm. Okay,
No,
so
no,
So
no, no, no. I don't. I mean, I don't know if you misunderstood what I'm saying. I'm just saying that women, they try to change. They try to change people,
I
or they
didn't
try to
misunderstand
change a
what you said,
man.
sweetheart. I didn't
Okay,
misunderstand what you said at
okay,
all because,
okay.
like I said, people are who they are. So you can't change someone from who they. You might try, but you can't change
That's
that
the
person to
point
who
I'm
you
trying to.
are.
That's the point I'm
You
trying
might
to make.
try.
That's the point I'm trying to make. You can try,
You
but
can
that you
try.
can't change who that person is.
No, not at
So we
all.
speak in the same language.
that's right.
You
Okay.
can try, but it's not going to work because that person is always going to revert back to who that person is. And at
That's
that
right.
point, and at that point, again,
That's
Alexa,
a fact.
play. Yeah,
Move.
it's
Get out the
yeah,
way.
move. Alexa, play. You got it. That's what happens. You got to
That's
just
a
move
fact.
around.
But then, as Miss Christian Dior says, on the flip side, sometimes we can't see the red flags immediately because we are too deep in the situation. I'm gonna just stop right there. We too deep in the situation. A lot of times, that's those what they call it, those rose-colored glasses. We ain't trying to see the real for what it really is because we have our own, I guess you can say, agenda of what we want. So, hey,
And
let's
that's
go.
your bad,
I don't think we're ever too deep. What's too deep? Because
Miss
now
Terry.
it's I guess I can break that question down because too deep or too late. Now too late is if you walk down the aisle with somebody. Now if we dating,
Oh, Jesus.
it ain't never too deep. Or because I can cut that off and we need to cut ties if there's a red flag that's a deal breaker.
Yes,
And
sir.
Right.
like Najee said, um sometimes women tend to think that they're gonna change somebody. Troy, Mrs. Lewis, has a saying that if he got 3 kids and don't take care of them, and he get you pregnant, why you think he don't take care of your kids?
Oh, blessed assurance.
So so you got he showed when people show you who they are, it is what it is. Now,
It is what it is.
when yeah, if you bite me once, I'm not gonna go back and say, oh, this okay, and pet you back on the head. I'm not gonna do that.
That's right.
Remember what Chris Rock said. They say life is too short. It's long as hell when you get with the wrong one.
Right.
Ooh, right? Shoot.
Mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So look, y'all, Miss Terry is back. Let me go ahead and make sure that we
Mi- Miss
welcome
Terry,
her again.
how's Mr. Black?
Pardon me. What did he
How's
say?
Mr. Black? Say we thought he met.
Yeah, ooh-wee. You know what? I'm number 7 up in here.
That's Miss Terry, y'all. Welcome back, Miss Terry, again to Gentlemen After Dark. She was here about 2 weeks ago, and we're just happy to have you. Thank you again for joining
Thank
us.
you.
So, since the men kicked us off, it's time to run the question directly to the ladies.
Okay.
Ladies, why do women set higher expectations for their male friends, their besties, their homeboy, than they do for the man that they are invested in or in a relationship with?
I don't even know how to answer that.
Okay.
that why do you
Run that back. Run that back.
yeah,
All
run
right,
that back. I don't
here
even
we
because
go.
I don't
Let
even
me
know
see
how.
if I
Go
can
ahead,
break
run
it
that
in
back.
layman's terms.
Hmm.
So,
No,
the,
I understand the question,
yeah,
but
run it back. You want me to reread the question or you want me to break it down?
no,
Yeah,
neither.
reread it. Reread it.
Reread it.
Okay, reread it for me.
Why
Go
do
ahead.
women set higher expectations for their male friends than they do for the man they are invested in?
That makes no sense. I
Hmm.
don't care how slow you read it.
Okay. So,
Because here's the thing. If you have that much you want that much
I,
expectations from your male friend outside of your dude gonna feel some kind of way about that. That's why I say I don't understand that. If your expectations for your male friends are higher than the expectations that you have for the man that you sleep okay, yeah, I have to keep
oh,
then that's the person you need to be with, because I don't know no man that if I say I need, want, or desire something and I got to go to my best friend for it, let that man find out that you went to this nigga for that. Something that's you don't do that. That's just not something you do. You don't do that. Or yeah, that's just yeah, no. Move on. That you just don't do that.
any of the fellas want to chime in on that, brothers, men, fellas?
yeah, hey, oh, it's something else going on, man.
Right? Hey, hey,
Something
Yep.
else going on. It's some what you say, Cliff, some baby butter, what you say? It's some it's some baby butter being spreaded around or something. Hey, man, if you got or if a woman got higher expectations on her partner than she do on her dude, hey, she doing something. I gotta
but
look
that's
at you
not
sideways.
Differently.
that's not necessarily the
Exactly.
truth. But to
That's
just
necessarily
to
what I'ma think.
Mm.
but that's
Well,
not necessarily the truth, because here's the thing. I had this friend before
Here
I
we
was your
go.
man. I mean, before I was your woman.
mhm.
So, and I do have a male best friend. I have a male best friend. I do. But with my male best friend, there are just certain things that we're not going to cross.
But let me
Because
ask you this.
but I have it a little bit easier because my male best friend and my dude are best friends. So I have a little bit easier than the average woman that has a best friend that her dude didn't know, prior to them getting
Mhm.
together. So that's why I say that question is not something that I would be able to, because yeah, no, you just don't do that.
I
Um,
interpreted that question a lot differently than it sounds like some people are taking it, because in some ways, like Bubba said, you had this friend before you got with your boyfriend person. Um, So there's already a foundation and a built-up relationship. It does not have to
Right.
be sexual. Mr. D, uh, you know, we don't have to sleep with every man we hang out with. We just don't. Just like supposedly men don't sleep with every woman they hang out with. We might have desires because that's how people think, but that's not what it's about when you say you're true, like your bestie or whatever. There is a relationship there, there's a trust factor there. Not to say that your relationship doesn't have a trust factor, it's just that that person has been your person for a long time. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's serious in a relationship, so your man and that person need to get along. If not, you're gonna have to make a decision as a woman who you keeping. And a lot of women will let the boyfriend go to keep the friend because they trust and they're comfortable within that relationship. um, I kind of talked with somebody about this question the other day, and it was also about the honeydew list. You got your friend, running errands or going to the doctor with you, or fixing something in the house when you have a whole man sit up in that house with you. Um, and I would have to say some women have a problem with asking their man to do stuff because they don't want to, one, feel needy, or they do not want, the man has shown no desire to participate in that level, but because you've got intimacy involved, so there hasn't been weighed out to recognize what's important enough. So is it okay to have your best guy friend fix your car while your guy sits there? Maybe he doesn't have that skill set. But
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
I wasn't
Miss
looking
Terry.
at that. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bubba.
I'm sorry.
No.
Because if you could ask me to, I can ask you to do anything. I can ask you to do anything. If baby, I need this faucet need to be fixed. If you could ask me to do some of the stuff that you ask women to do, that woman should be able to ask you to do anything.
Hmm. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm definitely not disagreeing with you. But
Okay.
a lot of people are in relationships that they can't ask for help.
Then that's not the
Speaking on
relationship
me,
they
you
need to
and I
be
are
in.
not speaking on ourselves. We're trying to speak
You right.
to a woman public because that's not how we do things. But we do know a lot of women who are sitting up someplace with a whole man in their house, in their bed, eating their food or whatever, sharing all of those things. But they've got another guy who can come in and take care of business.
And
And
they
it
should
doesn't
Right.
feel
have
like
to be sexual.
they should feel like a fuck nigga. They should feel like a fuck boy. They
Well,
should feel like they ain't shit. If you gonna sit there and have somebody and you in this house and you gonna have somebody else do what you should be doing,
mm-hmm.
you should feel like shit as a man. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay, now throw in the idea that what if none of that, for instance, maybe he's a white collar. He deals in computers and he deals with money.
Miss
He don't
Terry,
deal with no cars. He don't deal with no.
Miss Terry,
I'm
Miss
just
Terry.
saying. I'm
There
just
are two
saying.
type of people in the world. There
Uh-huh.
are two type of people in the world. There's those people that will do it themselves, and
Indeed.
there's some other people that will pay someone to do it. So I don't care how it get done, it's going to get done.
I feel it.
Right.
I
Right.
feel
Cause
you.
it up in here, yeah, that would, and I'm thanks to Clifton Lewis Senior. I'm a handy dude. Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out if I don't know how to do it.
That is.
But
Mhm.
but like Bubba just said, for some reason, if I try and did not succeed, I don't care if you know James from back in the day, from third grade, and he know how to do it. James ain't coming up here and doing shit. It's gonna be it's
Hey,
gonna be it's gonna be Tom from Home Depot, Lowe's, the Yellow Pages, but it ain't gonna be James.
hey, man. You already know what that's classified as. We call that e-dig.
Oh no, 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 not the ED.
Hey, I'm saying the bestie better be sweeter than country time lemonade. I'm just gonna tell you because
That's a
it's a
little tart.
problem. It's a problem. It's a problem if you go to asking for
Well, then you gotta
anything.
explain that to the
That's a
girl that you
problem.
with. Then and,
That's a
and see
problem.
there, that's where
She ain't gotta
communication
explain
comes in
nothing. She
and
already know.
understanding.
She
Well,
already know. I ain't
Okay,
gotta
so how do
explain
y'all
nothing.
men feel about the female jumping up and fixing her own car just because you're sitting right there and you can do it? If she can do it, then
That's
I'm
sexy to
sorry to
me.
add in a question to your "what do men want" thing, but if we're gonna sit here and talk about what we're not gonna let happen, So are you going to let your woman fix her car if she can fix it herself, or do some electrical work or whatever?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I am.
indeed. So that's
Hey,
all
I'm,
right.
Um,
I,
Not
hey,
a
I'm
problem.
the wrong guy to ask that. Cause,
Why?
hey, because I could do just about every trade they got at Home Depot or Lowe's or all of that. So I'm the wrong guy to ask about
Okay,
that.
but that's not what I asked
Cars,
you, if you
none
could
of
do it
that.
or not. What I
You
asked
ain't
you
about to
is,
do that. The
I,
bestie, I'm just saying, a
Mhm.
bestie, you should not be expecting putting higher expectations on a bestie. That's just, I
but
mean,
some
and
do it.
your
But
man is right
some
there.
men,
Maybe I'm probably reading it wrong. That's it. I'm just reading it wrong.
It could
some
be
men,
wrong.
some
processing
men
it.
will allow you to
That's
do
it.
that though. Some men
I'm
will allow
processing
you
it
to do
wrong.
that so that they don't have to do it. So
Mm.
whatever it is,
Right.
even if it's just to have someone to talk to, or talk about a problem or something that your dude won't sit down and talk to you about. It you if you can't, here's my thing. If you can't do everything, just like men want women to, you got a woman for this, you got a woman for that,
Mhm.
a woman got a man for this and a man for that. If you cannot fully satisfy that person in that full circle, and she needs to go over here, you do everything in the world for her. But what you don't do is listen to her when she talks. If that male friend over there is somebody that she can talk to, why wouldn't you let her talk to him?
Mm.
No, this is a way.
Because
Okay.
okay,
Yeah, and
oh,
then you guys can
woo-wee.
correct me if I'm wrong. Right. This is the way I perceive it. Okay.
Mm.
I perceive it that you're going when you put higher expectations on something. That means you're going to trip if I say I'm not coming, or
Right,
I'm not going to be able to make it. So on your
right.
in your with your bestie, why are you like tripping if your bestie say I'm not? It's like your friend. It's like your girlfriend. If your girlfriend say I'm not gonna make it, you're gonna be like, girl, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all gonna move on. It ain't gonna be a whole, oh, I'm sensitive and I'm emotional. That's all I had to say, y'all.
You had me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is one of them questions that can go so many different ways.
So
Um,
many different ways.
right.
Yeah.
yes,
It can
and
go so many
because
different ways.
you've
You
got two females on here who, if well, I don't know
This
about Bubba, but if I have a man, I'm looking for my man to do what my man does, and I jump into. It's whatever. I'm not going to bring no outside man into my home, into our home. If it's in our home, if it's my home, that might be a different scenario. But if it's in ours, then no other man needs to come up in here doing nothing unless those two are doing it together, and I'm out. You know, but that would be up to him.
okay?
But it's okay. Just tell me, did I perceive it wrong? That's it.
I'm not going to say what your perception is. Your
Your
perception.
perception is
No,
your
I just told
perception,
you.
Yes.
sweetheart.
So
I
you
just told
interpret
you.
it just
So
like
you
somebody else interpreted that question completely differently. So
Different,
it's
right?
good. Do you?
But
All right. So
this
look,
is what I took it. I understood it all the ways, but then I've heard conversation from my male friends who have been in that position that, as Najee said, the girl called him over there. Hey, let's just say my dishwasher is leaking. Blah blah blah. Can you come do it? You know what? I can't do it this week. And she get attitude, but like she got whole dude there now. Whether he can do it or not, he didn't say. But other things, anything that needs, he's a Mister Fix It in the thing. And then lo and behold, underlyingly, he has feelings. He likes the girl more than she is allowing him to be a part of her life because she has
That
somebody
wasn't
else.
part of the question, Mello.
Or
That wasn't part of
Yeah.
the question. That
no,
wasn't
no,
part
but
of the
look,
question.
hey, I'm getting to that's part of my answer
But if
Mm.
that's
because
part of your question, her thing should be get your money where you spend your time.
no, but
Get
look,
it where you spend
there
your
are
time.
women out there who think. What did you just say? E dig.
he did.
You the emergency dick in the glass because you are the reliable one, and that's why to me I don't have female friends like that because if we that close, chances are if you're gonna let me in, I'm gonna be in. But
Oh, damn.
That's what a lot of guys. Hey,
That was not part of the question. But
no,
go ahead.
listen, it is. It's part of
But
my
it's
answer
the truth.
because this is the
But
setup.
it's the truth.
This is the setup. If I can count on you, the reason why you count on me because I have feelings for you. Now the moment I can't, you you gonna put me back in that glass. You only call me when you need me.
Mm,
That's the point of it.
mm.
That's the point of it.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
That's
next
not what I
question
got
on that
from
one
it.
because
Yeah, that's
All
not
right,
what I
so
got
look,
from it. But okay.
we're gonna be battling against this clock. We're a little bit over tonight, but I got two more
Sorry.
questions to go.
Okay.
And this one is for the fellas. Why do men talk bad about women after they break up?
Because they ain't shit.
Hey, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a
Because
minute.
they ain't shit.
where's your cowbell?
This is for the men to
Oh
answer. This
man.
is for the men to answer.
Oh, okay.
If we talking bad about you, you ain't shit. But but that ain't been my experience. And Onyx will tell you, I don't talk bad. Oh, I almost said something, but I ain't gonna say it at this point. I ain't gonna say it at this point. But there is even my kid's mom. Onyx knows how I truly feel, and talking about emotions, he's seen those raw emotions of those feelings. But I
Okay.
have never. None of y'all know how I truly feel, or none of my other bros. They know it hurt, but as far as she wasn't this, no, I've never said that.
As we shouldn't.
I've never done that. But
Right.
I'm not gonna say certain people don't deserve it. So
Mm.
it is what it is. It's based on your personal experience. Fortunately, I feel the way I felt during the breakup, and I'll move on. Like I said, women are a dime a dozen, and I got $1. So
Damn,
Hmm.
really?
And let me say something, sweetheart.
Oh gosh, go better.
I get it. First of all, I can get a dick when I can't get nothing to eat. So let's not put a value on ourselves.
Oh my God. Shots fired, but I dig it.
no,
Okay.
it ain't no
Hot
shot.
time.
The
There ain't
point
no
is,
shot. It's just it is what it is, Mr. Mel.
yeah,
Women
I
come a
don't
dime a
need to talk.
dozen.
I don't need to talk bad about you when there's 10 other ones over there that gonna make me forget you. So
Oh, oh,
I don't
oh,
need to talk bad about you.
oh.
But there are those men that do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Therefore, Najee, Najee, why do you talk bad about women when you break up?
Najee,
Uh,
you have anything?
I would say I don't. I mean, I would say I never had. I would say I never had that problem. You know what I'm saying? If I got with them, they was worth something. You know what I
Right.
mean?
thank you.
There
But
you
I
go.
don't say.
Amen.
I
There
mean,
There
you
you
I
go.
go.
think I say we passed that point as to, if that's your woman, and then that means you bad choice of character or on your part. You know what I'm saying? So if they
Yeah,
made
but
it to that point,
Mm-hmm.
then I mean, I got only one out of my 7 years. I got only one that really deserved for me to really talk bad about her. But that was like young type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
nah, I don't ever get down like that. I don't talk. I don't. Nah. And none of my friends do. I got good friends,
Good
so
deal.
we don't.
Good job.
That,
There you
that's
go.
we don't
Wow.
do that.
All right. Last question, you guys. Last question. What will it take for men and women to see eye to eye?
Serious psychiatric help.
Hey, hey, we make fun of that, but that is the truth for real.
Right.
It
It,
starts with
it,
stuff like this conversation because
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
does.
it's and listening to everybody's feelings and how like I said, even during my worst argument, I'm always reflective afterward and like, man, you know what, I handled this wrong, and I've never been that dude to not be afraid to say, you know what, I was wrong, and because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
All right. Anybody else?
uh, I mean, I just think it's being sensitive about the right things. You know, when it comes time when you know when you're talking about you know each other's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know you gotta know what triggers you know whoever it is that you with in a negative way or in a positive way. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
True that.
And
I agree.
so you know
Good point.
you really have to know you know what I'm saying how to you know how to listen what to be sensitive about what not to be sensitive about you know what I'm saying um that's a whole nother discussion right there but yeah I would say you know just what to be sensitive about you could be you in a relationship and you trying to build you could be sensitive about something you just got to be the right thing you know what I'm saying you can't be sensitive about you know what somebody said to you and it makes you react in a wrong way like oh if she said this then I'm gonna do that
Right.
or if she did this I'm gonna do
Right.
that you know nah that's what makes things and then I'm gonna one up you okay so it's basically games after that and it's basically um you know who can outdo who you know what I'm saying who can outwit who and it's that's the part that you gotta you know, kind of, you know, take that, you got to take that edge off and say, you know what? And what am I doing? Am I trying to outdo or am I trying to build something? So that's all. That's all. That's what I would say.
I think understanding.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
if two people have an understanding, contrary to what anybody else thinks, says, does, wants to add,
Hmm.
or whatever, if two people have an understanding, it alleviates it knocks out all the bullshit.
That's
It
right.
knocks out all the naysayers or anything that tries to penetrate that relationship
Mm-hmm.
because that understanding is there whether you side by side with that person or if you're miles away. The
Yep.
understanding is clear between those two people. So I think for us to be able to see eye to eye is to get a clear understanding of the person that you're with, understanding what, just like you said, what those boundaries are. You don't cross this, when to be sensitive to that. Your understandings is key. And until you get an understanding with a person, a clear understanding with a person, they're not going to see eye to eye. That's just my closing thoughts.
Right.
Man, you guys, this has been awesome. I appreciate you so much for being a part of this conversation. I hope that our audience actually learned something from this. Of course, we don't have all the answers. We probably didn't have some of the answers. I don't know.
Right.
But the whole thing is the fact of conversation. You know, again, how I started this was with that list of things that people wanted. They wanted communication. They wanted some trust. We talked about some sex. We even talked about finances. But I'm going to end it like this. You can have all those things, but if you do not have good, orderly direction, none of that is going to work. That's my time, you guys. When you catch it, hit me up. Let me know that you caught what I just said. I'll say it one more time for you. Good, orderly direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's my time. Gentlemen After Dark, I got to thank my panel again. Y'all rock.
Great show, brother.
Y'all
Thanks
rock.
for having us.
Yes.
Yes. Look, y'all stick around. Don't go nowhere. You two, you four, don't go nowhere. Let me just close us out like
I gotta
this.
jump back. I'm
From the desert to the sea, and to all who have decided to chat with me, good evening.